Hey Australians, Danunder, ready for another adventure exploring history. Hi all, Danunder here. Just thought I'd show you a behind the scenes video. I'm just working on something at the moment, so I'm doing this live. So bear with me, I'm still learning about all this. Well, $500. Congratulations there, Teddy. High tempo transmission, aka Barry, aka Matey. So yeah, I'm running dual screens at the moment. I'm just going to play some background music just to make it not so boring. It is royalty-free music, hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm sure if it isn't, I'll get told. So yeah, basically, I'm using a program called Google Earth. I do have the Google Earth Pro, both online and offline. I'm using the online at the moment. So basically, I'm working on a video where I'm retracing an old abandoned disused railway line. So basically I've been looking at other channels, aka Mike and Outdoors Types. Link is in my bio. So a link is in the description of the video, or has been tagged. Hopefully it takes you to his channel. If it doesn't, let me know. So basically I want to be able to do an overlay on the videos that shows where I am. So basically you can follow the journey. For instance, heavily I got this idea from watching other videos, but heavily I got this idea from when I've been talking with Barry backstage. So, you know, we have conversation backstage and it's just chit chat, you know. And basically I was driving home one day and basically he was following me on the map where I was. So basically I thought, you know what, that actually sounds like a really good idea. So basically why shouldn't I sit there instead of just saying, hey, I'm here, I'm there, because people overseas have no idea where things are prospectively. And also it's basically adds a personal thing to it where you can actually follow me along. So all right guys, I'm going to be in and out of the chat because I'm using dual screens at the moment. So hopefully it doesn't stutter and jitter. And yeah, I probably will mute myself so I don't really talk too much because I do get quite frustrated when I'm working on these things. But because it's brand new to me and I'm learning. So just a heads up, I've already started this map, so it is sort of almost complete. So I've been working on it for a while. now I'm just going through polishing it up, but I want to show you like the intricate things that I have to actually go through to show you that it's not just, hey, trace this map. Like, it's easy. If it was a roadway, I can say Brisbane to Sydney, and it'll follow the roadway all the way from Sydney to Brisbane. Not a problem. When you go to railway lines, it can even do railway lines that are opened. It can do that without a shadow of a doubt. It does that quick smart to a detailed view. But when it becomes disused or abandoned, basically it falls off the face of the earth type of thing. So basically, you have to go through old maps. As you'll see, I have to look at historical images to try and retrace the map, as in to see where the lines were, because as of today's date, what is today's date? Tell me what today's date is, please. Whoa. Today is 8th of November 2025. The weather is cloudy with a chance of rain and thunderstorms. So without any more ado, so I don't bore any more people, I'll just get on with it. And yeah, cheers. Send you into the studio, Mr. Stadberg. Not let me here. Okay. All right. Hopefully that music's not too loud. That's the top. But GG. So where's that? I haven't up to list more yet. Oh, right. Great. Hey, Crazy John. Hey, B. Oh, sorry. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat, shouldn't I? Too many waypoints. This is all now rail trails, so tracks have all been ripped up here, so let's have to go historic images. Like if I was to go to a modern day image of that, or the modern dayest image of that, would show possibly a different alignment. 2020. Still option. It's still going. Bloody. Really? Turn up. Yeah, so now that's a track. So that's now a bike path. So rail trail, they call them in Australia, bike paths. So let's go back to 2009. This line's been officially closed since 2004. Even the one to go to Ballina, that's been shut since 1977. So that's going to be even harder to bloody set up. Bridge. Looks like it bows out a bit. Imagine being the person who had to stitch all these together. Unbelievable. So they'd use a lot of wooden viaducts, like wooden trestle bridges to get through. It was very hilly, very valley, and also flood prone. So we're just outside of that's Lismore. So Lismore flooded big time 2022. Town was under 11 meters of water. So yeah. Hey Ollie. Tedious. Hey, did I ask for your input? What? When a rail company out there closes a line, do they rip it up or does it get placed on the track to prevent it being built on? Let me turn that music down. So what happens is that a line is closed. So what happens is that a line gets closed and then it gets formally closed by Parliament. So Parliament can make an act of Parliament. Once it's an act of Parliament, then they can rip the lines up. But they've ripped it all up here. This has all been ripped up completely now, from Casino to Bentley has all been ripped up. And from Wollongbar to Crabs Creek has all been ripped up. Some bridges have remained. But yeah, basically once once a line is closed, and the government doesn't like lines that don't make the money, so they get rid of them. So yeah, once it's formally closed, but it still remains Crown land. It still remains Crown land. So they can reinstate at any time in the future. So there's a sort of a kind of a protection with certain lines. With the Mooloolaba line, they've already said that there is a chance that it could come back if required. So do I see a likelihood of it? No, because unless they connect it to the Gold Coast, because then basically you could have from Sydney to the Gold Coast airport, etc. But yeah, there's not much. All the produce here now, all the sugar cane, cement that's mined up here. Everything is transported. Even the sugar cane is transported by trucks now, lorries. So yeah. But for the Ballina line, that was one that was closed back in. Oh, I can't really know. I have to look at that. 2 minutes. Shut. Don't have that. Don't have the information of it. Should have it. But it shut down a long time ago. So basically, all remains of that have been literally ripped up, and it ain't coming back because it's too dangerous because it floods and there was landslides, etc. So they had steam trains, right, and it's not viable. The road in and out of there is really good. So they, yeah. But there is some remains of that, which I will cover in the video. At the moment, I'm just retracing the main bit of the line. All spurs off the line I'll do later on. Because I want to animate it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate it to in sections, because I'm going to do the video in sections. So it's not just one big video, because no one wants to sit there for like 2 hours listening to me waffle on and a lot of information going in. So I'd rather separate it into 8 sections, because it is a fairly big line. It's not the biggest line in Australia, but it is a fairly big line. One of the big closed ones. So yeah, hope that answers the question. But yeah, formal act of parliament is the only thing that can close down the line 100%. So I think it was closed. I think it was closed by Parliament. There was a Parliament. There was a motion to close the line in 2004, and then it was officially completely 100% shut down in 2012, I believe. Yeah. So now basically there is a big lobby group called Rail Trails Australia, which are trying to trying to reclaim all the disused railway lines in Australia to convert into rail trails, which is kind of sad because besides the nostalgic thing, like for instance, if you go to Byron Bay, I should do a video of driving into Byron Bay. Yeah, it's true. It's true, Ollie. It's absolutely true. So basically, the reason this line shut down is like a short answer is because it was costing the government money. Anything that costs the government money, they don't want to keep. So basically, things move to the roads. The government doesn't have to look after the roads. That's not federal. That's under state law, and local councils have to look after their roads. So so basically, the government saves a lot of money, and they are currently building what's called the inland railway. If you look that up, the inland railway, which is going to be basically a one that goes from Sydney to Brisbane, and it doesn't have to stop. There's no time restrictions on it. There's no houses around it, so they can run freight 24 hours, 7 days a week, and also passenger. I don't think they're going to run passenger trains on it, but who knows? You know, they might look at it eventually. Majority is going to be freight trains. So at the moment, they still run freight trains on the North Line, which goes from Sydney via Casino, via Kyogle to Brisbane, to the port of Brisbane. But yeah, obviously the Moolumba branch line did have its things. It had up to 3 passenger services a day. But there is good news. If you look up Byron Bay Solar Train, it's the first converted motor train converted to solar. It runs on solar, but doesn't completely run on solar power. It does still have the diesel motors for those days where there is no sun. So it runs from North Byron to Byron Beach. So it's, I forget, but yeah, but it they're trying to reclaim more of it because they want to try and run the train to from Byron Bay all the way up to, I believe, Yelgan, because at Yelgan they've got a parkland there that they run festivals at, big festivals like Splendor in the Grass, etc. Which big name acts go there. It's called the Byron Bay. I can actually show you on the map in a second, but when we reach it, I'll just fix this up. Where am I at? I'm at. I'll get to this one and show you. Otherwise, I'll lose my spot. So yeah, basically, I've been working on this for several weeks at the moment. But basically, first of all, I had to draw the line. I just roughly drew the line using that. Add path of polygon, and I did it in Google Maps offline, and now I'm doing this online because this is saving to my Google Drive. So basically, my work's not going to be lost. There is a person who's done an overlay of all train lines in Australia. Is that Hairy Legs? Is his name? Basically, Hairy Legs is another name for a person who works on overhead power lines in Australia for railways. So obviously the hairy legs is because, like, obviously electricity causes their hairs to stand up in the legs, and yeah, you notice their legs are hairy. Aussie companies started combining the preserved rail lines here for freshly retired train maintenance, as well as other volunteers for a fresh start on the other side. Well, I do wish I had said yes. Yeah, like there's a place out like Tenfield, and they're trying to they've been trying to revive the line there for ages, and now they want to build rail trails from Armadale up to, I believe, Glen Innes. At the moment, they're really pushing for that. So basically, that's another line that I'm going to be working on very soon too. Yeah, who knows? But they just don't have volunteers, and unfortunately, it is a lot of the volunteer. Oops, I've changed. I'm going to change into another line, I think. Won't reverse it. Why won't reverse it? Okay, that's line. Okay, so I've had to break it up in lines because Google doesn't allow you to do too many points, so that's what that's that. Okay. The good news is that if I match it up as much as I can when I export it to a KML file or a GPX file for animation, so I can put it into After Effects to do it. Which again, that'll be another video, but I'm going to try and learn as much as I can about that first, because it's really daunting. But this was fun for the first several days, and then it became very. And yeah, as I was saying, but a lot of them, a lot of the old train places, museums, line, heritage railways, etc. Even the maintenance on the steam locomotives over here, and it's they're run by volunteers. So a lot of people have lost interest, or they're aging, they pass away. So basically, there's no one. The skills are sometimes lost because before, where they used to have volunteers to go there and work in workshops with them and work alongside the people who built these marvelous machines, the skills are lost because, number one, obviously the die cast that they used to use, which reminds me of another video I've got to release, which I've got to just get a bit more footage, is the Railway Museum at Ipswich, which I did become a member of. So I became a member of that. Yeah. Funny, if you do know of Colonel, Mark from Colonel, he volunteers on a voluntary railway at Cornwall. So, but I would love to do it. But we just, like, if they said to me, hey, we've got one around my area that I could go work on, I would. But Tannefield's roughly what, 2.5 hours away. So just to travel there is just not viable. Like each time, it's 2.5 hours each. 2 hours. Sorry, it's roughly about 2 hours and 50 minutes each way. So that's with a good run. And it's not an easy drive either. But that's the closest one to me now. That is like a museum. So. And it's really rough driving there. Like, you've got to drive through like Kyoto, and it's really windy, hilly roads, which isn't too comfortable in the four-wheel drive. So, not that my car's uncomfortable, but it's hard. But they've got some young people in there, but again, they're not maintaining anything in it now. They're just basically, like, I guess you could call it God's waiting room type of thing. It just, unfortunately, a lot of stuff now, like, for instance, when researching this line, a lot of it I had to do by books and online. But even then, sort of, you have to write to people and ask for information, and people don't get back to you. And you're thinking, why aren't they getting back to me? So you go into forums and ask, hey, does anybody know this person? Because I've written to them and they're not replying to me. And they say, well, that's because he's gone. He's passed on. So, which I guess is sort of like a bittersweet, because basically what happens is that their stuff becomes public domain, which is good. And a lot of people hold on to stuff too. Like, the hardest thing challenging for this is that, like, I could create this map. I've got no problem with creating this map. And yeah, well, that's true. That's true, Ollie. But people can't volunteer their time. Yeah. Like, I'm great with my hands. Like, I'm really good with my hands. Like, physical work is something not strange to me. Gingy, stop dinner time. You're too early, mate. No, stop meowing at me. Ballet for food. Oh yeah, you're on a tank up. Wow. In my TensorFlow video that I've yet to edit, I've got a training tank in there. So there's actually a tank in there that's a training tank. Yeah, it was purposely built. Gingy, stop. Yeah, I want to make this pretty good. Because if I don't, when you animate it, you don't want to. Obviously, it's got a squiggly line, but like obviously, if you just get, like if you get, it's not a heartbeat, you know what I mean? And obviously, when I start to do different angles, it's going to be picked up really quickly. So, like, for instance, if I did that, that'd be like crazy. That'd be like, you know, it'd be like, no, stop, Gingy, in the bed, in the bed. Yeah, this cat, unbelievable, dude. But yeah, I do understand. I understand about volunteering because like I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to volunteer. Like, besides editing videos and now doing this, like this is one line. This is one out of like five I'm working on. So, but I've been told once you put the hard yards in, and once you've done it, you sort of like it's sweet. But then I've got to learn how to do animation through Adobe. So I'm watching online videos about it, but N24. Woohoo. Sold to Norwegians after the work. Now putting it back to US specs. Come to think of it, the track and the bunch of internals came from an Aussie farmer. Really? Wow. Um, we don't have too many tanks in Australia. We do. We have tanks, but like ASLAVs are the ones I'm more familiar with. Australian, Australian light armored small vehicle. ASLAV. Yeah, armored light. Australian armored light. I can open blank. Oh, ASLAV. Australian armored. No, Australian light armored vehicle. Yeah, ASLAV. Yeah. Australian light small armored vehicle. Basically, they're in between a tank and a truck and a truck. So basically, and you've got my friend's doing a what do they call them? Not a buzz truck. Buzz truck? Does that make sense? No. Is it a buzz truck? I don't think it's a German one. It's a German one. And I think they'll make Bedfords or Dodgers or Chevrolets, and his is a mixture. Buzz truck. I don't know. We do. We do. We have the that's in the Brisbane Museum. Yeah. They brought that back. Yeah, so what's that called? Blank. That's called The Mephisto. Yeah, Mephisto. Yeah. Mephisto's the name of it. Yeah. It's it's in the Brisbane Museum. I've seen it. You can walk up, you can touch it, you can like you can actually touch it and then see all the bits and pieces. It's the original tank. So yeah, it was almost scrapped. So what happened is that someone stole it when it comes from somewhere, and it was found in a scrapyard, and it was almost scrapped. So that would have been history gone. And there's a true story about that tank. Is that Australians were part of the capturing it, and then there was a bit of a argy-bargy between the British occupational forces and the Australian Defence Force. There was a bit of argy-bargy there, and they basically, the British people wanted it, but then somehow we brought it back to Australia. So, yeah. Mephisto, I think it's called Mephisto. Could do a video on that too. There's where that is, there's a lot of World War One, Two. Yeah. They actually the story behind it was pretty cramped, and so you can't go inside of it, but you can look inside of it, and they show you where the people would have sat and all the rest of it. But it was it wasn't as advanced as the British ones at that time. So the British tanks obviously a lot more powerful than that one. But it I think its downfall was it couldn't get over something or something. I can't remember the story. I'll have to. I did learn about it, but we obviously my brain's Swiss cheese when it comes to remembering everything. But yeah, I think we were. Oh, but still playing that one. Oh, that's going to be copyrighted. There we go. But yeah, I think we were part of the capture of it. So they actually did something to capture it. So captured by Australian troops in France and arrived in Brisbane 1919. A war trophy with the museum current permanent display in the Anzac Legacy Gallery at South Bank. The tank is an A7V Sturmpanzerwagen, abandoned by its crew in France during World War One after getting stuck on a shell crater. Captured troops from the Australian Imperial Forces, specifically the 26th Battalion, which were made up of many Queenslanders, recovered the tank under the cover of darkness in 1918. Arrived in Brisbane, it was sent to Brisbane as a war trophy and arrived at Norman Wharf in Brisbane 1919. The tank was towed to the original Queensland Museum on Gregory Terrace and was on display for years before being moved to the current Queensland Museum. Should do that. Should go there. It's not that. I'm not that far from Brisbane. I'm about what, an hour and a bit away from Brisbane, so I could go up there for a trip. Maybe next time Kel comes up, we'll do a trip up there and we'll do a video on it. There's some part. I think this. I think if I'm correct, there was something to the museum where they didn't want you to go. How much would it cost? Oh, the museum's free. Yeah, you don't pay to go to the museum here. The museums are free, so you don't pay to go to the museum. It just costs them fuel. But like if I do, there's a few like things up there I can go look at besides that. But yeah, there's museum's pretty big, but there. There's another place. There's another place here too that has like RAF stuff. Well, we call it RAF, RAAF. I think you guys just call it the RAF, RAF, because you're just Royal Air Force, and we're Royal Australian Air Force. So there's one down there, down. Not Broken Head. Where is it? Somewhere down there. Broomshead. Anyway, there's a big aerodrome down there where they've got some old warbirds there. So where my daughter lives, they've got a original World War II bird that still flies. So and there's a paintball place up here too. I'm just on the side of the, I think it's before Brisbane. I think it's out towards Ipswich there. Ipswich is only an hour and a bit away, and they've got like a paintball thing, and they've got like a museum there with all tanks and planes, etc. Plus, also I could go to not Silverton. What's the other one? It's the Australian Defence Museum. But the best one to go see is the War Memorial in Canberra. That's got a lot of stuff, like a lot of original guns, etc. And a little bit about that place is that one of the old curators was fired from there because he was starting to sell off the old firearms. So he was selling the firearms like the original weapons from Vietnam and other campaigns. Yeah, the guy was selling them, and yeah, he got busted. So he's now no longer working for them. I think he's in. I'm not sure if he's in jail. Should be, because like it's fine and dandy. Like it sounds weird, but like I see them for sale all the time. You know, like you see on eBay or Craigslist or other websites that deal in military stuff. We have big military fairs now. So in Australia, we've got big military fairs where you can go buy military stuff. Yeah. And yeah. And they basically like, you know, some people even sell their medals. Personally, I would never sell my medals because they'll get passed down. Yeah, like you can get reissued. You can get reissued medals because I got my grandfather's medals reissued. But it's a long drawn out thing. That's me. But like, you know, some people, yeah, as I said, some people do sell them because they're getting hard times. Like, yeah, I think I don't know. Were you on that live stream? I think it's still on here. Like, I found my grandfather's. Well, both my grandfathers served in war. My first grandfather, my dad's dad, he served in World War One, and my mum's mum served in World War Two in the British occupation. Beside the British occupational forces in Hiroshima, Japan, Borneo. So yeah. So basically, that's called the Simpsons Medal. That's the Simpsons Medal. So, yeah, it's got Simpson on there. Simpson was a man with a donkey, and then obviously say it's Australian medal. It's got the Australian flag. I don't know if that's actually coming out too clear, but yeah. That's actually got his enlistment things there, so yeah. That was my dad's dad. We're back to Sudan and Zulu War. Wow. I'll actually put a photograph on Barry's. I will put one on Barry's Discord. My great uncle Harold, he served in the Camel Corps. He served in the Camel Corps. There's actually a photograph of him on a camel. Yeah. You right, Ginge? Wow. And my Uncle Victor, he was in Australian Defence Force. Great Uncle Victor, he was in yeah, he was a Gingy, stop, relax, please, no more. He was a medic. He was a medic and he received a I like to share his stories with you guys. US relations from Spanish America and Philippines interaction. Wow. Certainly got some history there. Yeah, he was a medic, and he received the medical cross, which I believe that the medical people couldn't the medics couldn't receive Victoria Crosses, so they got what's called a medical cross or something, medical medal. That's it, medical medal, which is quite a high distinction, and he got that for saving 5 people's lives plus a German. And people sit and say, "Oh, why did you save a German?" Well, the fact of the matter is that not all Germans were Nazis, and also they were prized people because obviously if you capture one of the enemy, you can basically you can interrogate them and get intel. So, oh, that's one of the bridges. Where's that at? Is that a bridge? No, that's just an embankment. Yeah, so war, even though it's not, not good, it's fascinating to me. So I think basically in my family, there's been someone in pretty much every major war, at least every major war. Obviously, I think with the exception of Vietnam, that's the only one that none of my family are in. So I think we had some in the Boer War, World War One, World War Two, Afghanistan, Iraq. New Guinea. Stop. He thought I said his name. I said New Guinea. It sounds very much like Gingy, I guess. But war's not fun. It's I think I've discussed this on one of my live streams with Barry. Basically, in Australia, we're not allowed to deal in certain arms. PNG. No. Papua New Guinea doesn't. Yeah, Papua New Guinea's is independent now. So there is a small little I guess you would call it civil war. Obviously because half of PNG is comes under Indonesia now, so a lot of Muslim or Islam or Muslim, I guess. I don't know what they identify as, but they're not. So and they were instrument in helping us too during the World War, because they had people called the Fuzzy Wuzzy Angels, so they were natives or locals or indigenous people, whatever they like to be called now. They helped a lot of Australians on the Kokoda Trail. That's something I want to do. That's something I would like to go to and do. Bill's been to the Kokoda Trail. I've done the Kokoda Challenge, which is basically it's a thing up here where we can walk over similar distances and mountainous. And because we're subtropical here, it's very similar climate, but still, it's nothing. You know, yeah, I think it would be good to do. But then again, it's changed a lot too. So, but apparently, Kel said to me, she said that it was very hard for her. Like, yeah, well, that's the only way to do it. Well, it's the only way to do it. Yeah. Hope not boring everybody. This is what I do. So this is behind the scenes. Yeah, well, I guess there is I can book tours to do it, but it's the only thing that I'm concerned about is the fact that it's yeah, some people are really starting to cash in on it, like really like charging a exorbitant amount of money to go there. So it's because you can't sort of just, it's not like you can just walk up and start tracking it. I don't think. I think you still have to have permission to walk it. So yeah, it's like no, you need a guide. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's like, basically, a lot of people, obviously, I suppose it's good to a certain extent because it it stops sort of like, riff raff going there type of thing, because like some people go there just to be disrespectful of certain things, you know, and obviously it's very hard. It's very intense. I'm trying to think too. I'm trying to think where else. Dad's dad's uncle, Uncle Richard, I think. I'll have to confirm it. He was a prisoner of war in Changi, so he watched his brother um starve to death. So yeah. But I guess as long as people I guess as long as people put back into the community any money they make, like a percentage goes to obviously upkeep and maintain of places, and also some goes to the families of fallen soldiers or something. Because yeah, some and some gave all. You know what I mean? Sorry, some gave, all gave. Some what was it saying? Yeah, all went. Some gave more than others, and yeah, yeah. People ask. I remember asking my grandfather when I was younger. I said, like, what was it like? Was it fun? He goes, no. You know what I mean? Like he never really talked about it too much, and I guess I don't either because it's not something you want to. It's not. You do what you're told. You do your job, and you just hope that you don't die. But yeah, I think it was George. I think it was George. My dad's brother watched his brother pass away, and so obviously last big walking full kit was Monty Diffuser about 20 years ago. Later Reef in the US, Canada, FFS. Man, there's places I would love to go. Man, there's so many places I would love to go. I would love to go to. I would and I don't want to seem morbid or anything, but it's not to celebrate it, but it's just basically to show my respect. I would love to go to Normandy. I would love to go to Gallipoli. I'd love to go to Pearl Harbor. I definitely want to go to Hiroshima. I was talking to Barry. Barry likes going to Korea. I wanted to go to Japan with me. I probably wouldn't go back to either Iraq or Afghanistan for obvious reasons. Hey Sue, how are you? And some more places I want to go to. Like Australia's got obviously, I've been to Sydney. That's where the mini subs got sunken, shot and sunken, and obviously boat disaster. Darwin got bombed. There's plenty of war stuff remains up there. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Sue. I'm just editing a map. Burma, wow, Burma Railway. Yeah, Burma, wow. Yeah, the bridge over the River Kwai, which obviously is not there. They blew it up, but I think Tingy, give it a break. Like I think is it the Burma Railway? Tingy, stop. I think the Burma Railway is where you see when you go into Gingy, stop. Relax. Hey. Yeah, I don't remember. I think the Burma Railway. Gingy, stop, please. Gingy, can you stop? No more. Relax. This cat, man. This cat's on my head. Yeah, Burma. That's it. Yeah, Burma. Yeah, Burma Railway is one where you go from Thailand and you cross over into And you can still see the remains of the bridge. Like the original bridge was blown up, but you can still see where the bridge was blown up. I think that's it. It was also known as the Burma Death Railway. Yeah. I don't think I learned. We learned a little bit at school, but I think I became more interested in. I should really start to learn more about it. Yeah, because even Solomon Islands here, got Guantanamo Bay, where the war. That's where the war stopped. Um, they stopped it there. So Guadalcanal Canal. Mm. There's a lot of remains there too. A lot of war remains. A lot of vehicles, tanks. I'll tell you what. So anywhere. So basically, and I can attest to this 100%. Um, Anywhere that the US has been, anywhere the US has been, and there's been conflict with them, you'll always find remains, war remains, because they leave everything behind. They'll leave ammunition, they'll leave guns, literally, they'll leave vehicles, everything. Hence why in Philippines, all the old trucks have been turned into jeepneys. So they're quite interesting too. It's not called a buzz truck. Is it called a buzz truck? I'll have to ring Logan and see what it is. Logan, where are you? Buzz? No, it's not a buzz truck. What is it? Um, oh wow, cool. Yeah, we had we there were stories of people sending back like whole jeeps during the Vietnam War and Korean War, etc. There was people sending complete vehicles back in parts because obviously the vehicles that can pretty much be taken down to next to nothing and transported for transportation. So they sent everything home and yeah, rebuilt them when they got home. Oh, Like I got a few real weights and 50 cal. I've actually got a 50 cal sitting in front of me. Not it's used. It's my first ever one fired. I wonder what he's built. Stop. Stop. Stop, baby. I'm trying to think what his truck was called. You sent me a photograph of it. That's me. I don't have it anymore. You sent me a photograph of it. Don't know. Anyway. He used to send me photographs of his stuff, but freaking what's that? If I click on one of these pictures, it will take me to it. Anyway. Gee, stop. Not yet. Not yet. I've got a bunch of little boxes that I have fired over the years for a shop of different sizes. 40 mil was actually a World War II shell with a modern 1980s round load. Wow. And 6-inch shell with the original war time round. Did that as a tail fin from a rapier missile before the natives somewhere. Wow. Wow. Mate, I can even go down to the like obviously you just got to make sure because obviously they're firing live rounds, and when they say they're firing live rounds, they're firing live rounds. At the army training place, and if you go, you won't eat it, cat. Look, chocolate, yummy chocolate. You won't eat it. you're gonna prove me wrong anyway, aren't you? Exactly. I still got my tags too. or your identifying discs. I think ours are different to the UK ones. Mine would. I don't know. I don't know if mine were different. Mine were round circle, like a sort of a hexagon one, and mine had a cover, like a rubber cover on the outside, on the edge, so they didn't rattle, and they were black in colour. So. Oh man, like if you obviously if we get if you get busted now, you go to jail. But they don't. It's Commonwealth land. I've heard stories where once the MPs get, once the MPs get hold here, they're not very nice. I couldn't do it now. I couldn't keep up with them. Good night, Adrian. Thanks for popping in, mate. Yeah, but once they look up yeah, yeah. Once they sort of find out who you are, if you're, ex-serving and all the rest of it, they're not very nice towards you because you should know the better about it. I think they've just been very cautious too, because like basically they're using live ammo on they do live ammunition runs here, and people say, oh, but why are they doing live ammunition? Well, the fact of the matter is, when you get on tours, man, they're not. Wow, you cool. Man, there's places. I do know of some things in Australia, some things like similar to that, and they if you speak to the right people, like I remember once I was up at Tambourine Mountain, and there's a big army barracks up there near Tambourine Mountain. I forget what it's called. Is it Kokoda? I think it's Kokoda Barracks. I mean, I think it's Kokoda Barracks. What's the name of the barracks up there? I think it's. Yeah, Kokoda Barracks, yeah. So I was correct. So I was there, and I was filming like an old abandoned tunnel that was used in World War II for explosives. It was used for storage of explosives, which there are many tunnels in Australia that we use for mustard gas, etc. But this one was for explosives. And it backs right onto Kokoda Barracks. It's not far from it. It's not part of the barracks. It's you're able to go there now, but it backs onto the barracks. And anyway, I went past into Commonwealth land and Defence Force land, and anyway, I had a guy jump out of me with a ghillie suit. And I actually saw him there. And I said, "Oh, hey man, am I on thing?" And he goes, "Yeah." All I heard was say, "Yeah, you're on defence land." He goes, "Yeah," and then he stood up and he goes, "You got to go. We're doing live round exercise." I went, "Okay, no problem." And he was pretty cool about it and told me just to get out. Asked me how I got in. I said, "Oh, look, there's a hole in the fence there." And he goes, "Oh, there's signs." I said, "No signs up there," which there are signs along the fence, but there wasn't where I went through. And, yeah. But I know when I'm flying the drone up there, it doesn't like going any further. So they have. I think they have something there. That blocks it like a geo blocking, I think. Even though mine's, modified so I can do stuff like that, there's something there still stops it going in there. So, and I once got I was flying my drone there, which is pretty close to the bone. They can't do anything. They can't literally do anything because if I'm outside of the barracks, even if I'm facing the barracks, they can't do nothing. Because unless I'm causing trouble, because obviously their barracks the defence line is obviously enough for them to hide all their goodies, so to speak. Anyway, I still had the MPs come. Basically turned up in a black four-wheel drive, blacked out windows. Walked up to me and said, "What am I doing? What my purpose is there?" Yeah, well, anyway, so I sat there and I basically they just asked me what am I doing, and I said I'm filming this, and they go, "Oh well, you know your drone's almost in defence space." I said, "No, I've got the map, I've got my CASA map up, and it says that I'm, I kept away from it, the law." So they were pretty good with it. And they just said, "Look, just let you know if it does go into our area, we'll shoot it down." I guess I sort of didn't want to push the button because I know they're not allowed to shoot it down per se because it's a flying object, so they're not allowed to shoot down drones. But I didn't want to push the button, so. But yeah, you're right too. Like we've got roads over here. Yeah, that's it. They put flags up there. They've got red flags up if there's exercises happening. Also, there's big signs, there's big road signs, and literally, like we were there, Kel and I were there several months ago. We were driving through there because we were going somewhere else on the way. We drove through Kokoda, and on either side of it is the range, the firing ranges, and the training grounds. And basically, we could hear them. You could hear them, and basically, I could have sworn I could have sworn there was bullets flying across the road, but it might have just been my imagination, but it was yeah. But then there's been like times where I've been driving down, and then they basically shut down Holsworthy because Holsworthy Barracks, they share a road with the public because the distribution centre at Holsworthy is shut down now. The barracks is still open, but the distribution centre's moved from Moorebank. So it used to be at Moorebank in Australia. And they used to share a road, and it basically had a massive sign up saying this road is Commonwealth land. Basically, it can be shut by the Defence Force at any times if deemed necessary. And basically, I was driving to work before actually having the Defence Force under my belt, and basically we got escorted off the road by MPs because they were just closing the site. They were just closing the road. They had a delivery of arms coming in, so for armory. So basically, they didn't want people there because obviously people protest and obviously they don't want their stuff knocked off. But even then, man, a lot of weapons went missing from there too. A lot of weapons went missing from Moorebank distribution center. A lot of equipment. Which now you can understand why they don't want you there, because obviously these things they're not toys, they're fully working weapons. So basically they get out into the public. So good. Like did I want to keep any of my guns? Of course I did. I kept, I wanted to keep them, but the laws in Australia won't allow me to have the weapons that I served with. So. Oh man, this is getting to me. Is that Lismore? I think it's Lismore. No, it's still not Lismore. What's that? It's a town. Bangor? No, Lismore. Wow. I've still got like green shirts and all that. I've still got my green undershirts and some of the uniform. Still got my SLR, slouch hat. My hat. I've got the itchy stuff. Yeah. Well, see, all of ours, like we had different color. So obviously you had your dress uniform and you had your deployment uniform, which was different. So I don't have any of the dress uniform. Oh, some except for the hat. I've still got the hat with the ostrich feather. The rising sun. Oh, this is now. I even got a sand ghillie suit too, so they're pretty fun. Ghillie suits are so much fun. It's so much fun. Hiding, yeah. I'll tell you what's worse. What's worse than the itchy stuff, man, is having to wear yeah. Cool. Oh, ghillie suits are so much fun. I should have one now. I should still have one now. I'm mad. But the worst is having to wear camouflage makeup and in a sandy environment. Yeah, yeah. Man, my friend's got some stuff that's worth. Yeah. All my stuff is drawstring. I tell you, I like I do like the naval uniform. They're cool. The RAND, Royal Australian Navy. They do have a cool uniform. Wow. Cool. It's hard to get into the Navy though. It's hard. You have to have AB averages in your school certificate. What's going on? Yeah. How much longer I'm going to do this for? I don't know how boring this is for people. Just watching me do this. It'd be good once I start to animate it. Like, yeah. Well, several things stopping me now. My age, but at the end of the day, I reckon if it came to the crunch, I think they take anyone that knows what they're doing. That's what I see. It's okay. As I said, I haven't been live for a bit, and I asked Barry if I could use his StreamYard to do a live stream. He gave me the okay. So I thought I'd just show people, like, like I don't, when it comes to the, my friend just did a video on the same line that I'm doing now, and his release tees, like, he's very quick, but I just am so perfect with everything. I'm just really very, to use the word politely, I'm very anal about things being perfect. So I like to measure twice and cut once. So but if I do the hard yards now with this, hopefully it'll be all right when it comes to animation. So and I should have gone on Fiverr and done this, or like, Taskmaster or something, and said, hey, somebody trace this for me. Trouble is, if they didn't do it right, I'd probably get upset. So yeah, we used to have a lot of army disposal stores in Australia too. We used to be able to go buy old army surplus, and but they seem to have disappeared, a lot of them. So a lot of it went online. And now when you go online, they're very picky. Like, they're very expensive and very where's that bridge at? I think that's North Lismore. It can't be North Lismore. It's not Lismore. I was supposed to go out and film today, but that's a wrecking yard. Where's that? That's Lismore. It's a car yard. Which one place has a car yard? I don't know. That's scrapyard. That's a wreckers. Oh wow, yeah, they are. They're The Navy have really good stuff though. They're so like their dress uniform. Their dress uniform's pretty like plain white. But the guys in the submarines, man, they've got really good uniforms. Although I don't think I would like to be in a submarine. I don't know. Something goes wrong as you're down so far. Oh. Yeah, I would. That's it. You know, I don't know. I don't like being anything I can't breathe, and I'm a little bit claustrophobic. Not much, but I'm enough that a submarine would. Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of things in the army that are very claustrophobic. You've got to go through tunnels, etc. But yeah, it's not permanent. You're not permanently underwater, and yeah. Although you are out of the way sometimes, because obviously you're under the water. But with modern technology, they're almost invisible. So I should do a video on that too. I should go down to the National Maritime Museum up in Brisbane and in Sydney, and also the Maritime Museum in South Bank. So they've got a lighthouse there. Is it the lighthouse is there? No, the lighthouse is the Carpentarias in Sydney. It's a floating lighthouse. Believe it or not. So many things I could do if I was closer to Sydney. But yeah, they've got a submarine there too. Like I've been on the submarine down at Holbrook. That was the next submarine. Now on land, so that was pretty cool. Couldn't go inside of it. There was nothing inside of it. Yeah, but probably be a funny video because you watch me freak out because I don't like closed spaces, especially more these days. I don't like anything, close to my body type of thing. Like tight clothing drives me insane. I got a lot of things I'm working on up here too. So, I don't know if I'm just going to make it to Lismore and then shut the live stream down. I don't know. Or just keep going. Meow. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Stop. I should release a little short of some things that I've been. Release a short. I should make a short of stuff I'm doing. The trouble is, if I do that, I'm going to give away a lot of things. Gingy, stop. It's 3 a.m. there. Wow. 3:30 actually. Oh, almost at this more. It's so much easier if the line just went straight. Did you stop? Stop, baby. Baby, stop. It's not time. Your stomach starts kicking in at bloody half an hour too. Oh. Gingy, enough, babe. Enough. Dad didn't have lunch either. Gingy, stop. Gingy, enough. Something's not right there. It's not right there. Oh, cool beans. Almost freaking nuts. This one. So what is everyone doing? Okay, so Sue, what I'm doing is basically I'm doing a map from Casino all the way up to Condong Sugar Mill. This is a disused railway line. I'm going to be, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at one point and I'm going to animate. This is going to be animated. So basically it'll be animated, showing where I'm going. And then as I journey, so say for instance, the section would be from here to here. It'll go here, along the line and stop. And basically I'll start the video from there. So basically it's like a journey. So it gives you an idea of roughly where I am on the map to where I'm up to on the video. So this is going to be an 8-part video. So this has been a long time. I've been working on this video for a long time, and it's a lot of to and fro of getting permission to go on land, because obviously the land's been sold off now, so you have to get the permission of the owners to go onto the land. I know that goes against the sort of the urbex, and you sort of like a bit of risky, but here the farmlands, they have firearms. So yeah, and the laws are different in Australia too. So if we get busted on private land, we can be charged with trespass. So eventually all that'll be animated, basically, and with name things. So I'll be able to say, oh, Condong, Mooloolaba, Byron Bay, you know, like that's how close the railway line got to the actual ocean. So this section now from here to here is it there? No, from here. From there, from here to here is a solar train now. So yeah. Oh, so it's just the line looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Well, no, I say it looks pretty cool. That's pretty much the alignment. But what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm just fixing it up. Why? Is because I'm a perfectionist and I like it to be perfect. And you know, I don't know. It pains me to have it out of sync. And because most of this line now has been pulled up. For instance, if I was to go to a later map, 2023, So as of 2024, all the rail lines are gone. So there's now a path there. So if I was to trace the path, if I was to go along the path, then it would deviate from the original alignment of the railway. So oh, you never know, Sue. You never know. You never know if you'll ever come here or not. Who knows? I didn't think I'd ever go to the UK. I didn't even think I went to Afghanistan, Iraq, Solomon Islands, US, New Zealand. But, you know, things change. Hey, stranger things have happened, yeah. Although, it's funny, I saw something the other day, which I should post on Discord. It's quite funny. It goes, oh, excuse me. What's that? Things that would kill you on land, and it was blue. In Australia, the whole of Australia is blue. Sorry, no, yellow or something. Anyway, what would kill you on land in Australia? And it was all yellow, and the whole of Australia was yellow. And then what would kill you in the sea in Australia? And it was all blue, and that was blue and yellow was all taken up. And then there was the line around Australia that said that all animals that would kill you in between, and it was there. But not all animals in Australia will kill you. Obviously, we're still around. We're not superhumans. We're not immune to snake bites or anything. Like, knock on wood, I've not been bitten by a snake, or at least I don't think I've been bitten by a snake. Oh, shit me. Gingy, stop. Well, I know people laugh at me and say, like basically, like how would you know if you've been bitten by a snake, but sometimes you don't, because sometimes they're like tiny and they're not venomous. So unless a snake's venomous, it doesn't really kill you, obviously. Been bitten by everything else. I've been bitten by a horse. Been bitten by a cow. Been bitten by a human being. Been bitten by a dog. By a cat. Gingy, yeah, you bit me, didn't you? Trying to get to that feral cat that was outside. Been stung by a bee. Been bitten by a lizard. Although, thank goodness I have not been bitten by a goanna. So basically, a goanna is like a lizard on steroids. It basically will rip your calf off. Which is strange, because when Kel and I went out the other week, we went out to this abandoned line to do some filming for it, because it was a nice day and I had it off. So basically I said to Kel, would you like to go out? And we did. We went out and we filmed, took the drone out and everything, and we saw a goanna on the line, and I said, Kel, come on. She says, no, I'm not going nowhere near it. No, I'm staying here. And also Joe Blake's or snakes are around now too, so because it's now. So I got some footage of the bridges. So there's a lot of wooden trestle bridges on this railway line. Really pretty. Another bubba, another gingy boy. I'm actually thinking about selling the pictures online. Or I might just do a pick a member one day when I get big enough and just say, look, here's a picture of some explores I've done. Because some of the pictures I've got you can't get, without drones. So I reckon Matt could do that too. I reckon Matt could could definitely sell some of his pictures, of the drone footage and all that. Because like I love flying. I love flying the drone. Like I really wanted to be a pilot. Yeah. So like I thought about doing that. I thought about seeing if I could try and sell it. My mate's got a couple of photographs of some beautiful sunrises and sunsets. And obviously here, one of the guys I used to work with at one of the stores I used to work at, he just got married down south from me, and it's on the same line. And his wedding photographs are underneath wooden trestle bridges. That's so amazing. Like they're just so like. And these and some of these bridges are pretty much completely trestle. They're wooden. They're just completely wooden with the metal spike just to keep it together. But no, just shame really. But you know what? Like I look at it and go, well, it's abandoned. It's no good now. But so bring back the trains and all the rest of it. But then I'm thinking, well, if they brought back the trains, I wouldn't be able to walk it. I wouldn't be able to, explore the tracks, because obviously you can't walk on a track when there's live railways. So. Some of the tunnels I've got to see, like I've walked in Hull Hill, Banbury, Marshall Hill, I walked in 5 of the 6 tunnels, so yeah. Yeah, I could. I definitely will try and sell them online, like, and I might even, I don't know, I might look at seeing if I can get a like something that can just randomly pick people, and I can send them a picture, like a wheel or something. Just put everyone's name who's on a live stream one night and say, if you had this live stream, I'll spin a wheel. Like I think you can download those wheels or something. You can spin them and just sort of say, look, if you give me an address, or even if you don't want to give an address, a post box or something where I can send it, and I'll just send it over there, like the photograph. Yeah, I'll look into that. So I just want to make sure that if I do get an Etsy store, on actually how much they actually take. So because obviously the name of the game, even places are buying photographs now of like calendars and all that. They're buying like the calendars buy photographs like of people. Now this is gonna be hard. What's that? That's the old Norco. That's a butter factory. Excuse me. I wonder if that's still there now. That's an old butter factory. Butter factory sighting. Junji, stop. Soon. Very, very soon, baby. Very soon I'll feed you. Should take photographs of those too. We got things over here at the front of properties down. Junji, stop. Enough, please. Come on. Enough. Your worm spotting. But they got things called cream sheds, where people used to leave cream, and this truck used to go pick it up. and take it to make butter. So, what if that's the siding then? I'm not supposed to go there. It's weird. So I think that's the cream shed there. That's Union Street. Yeah, because that's Lismore. Wonder because I got to film here too. I didn't actually film this when we were out. Wonder if it's still there now. What's your space? 2019, 2000. Ooh, cloud. Oh, still there. 2021, 2022, still there. And 2024. Oh, mate, this is like, it's. I don't know. I've never really compared to overseas, but that sounds annoying. Can't change it. Oh, jeepers. Wow. But like, yeah, just to give you a hint, that's Lismore. And that's one major town. That's like a major town, Lismore. The next major town is Byron Bay. So, and then the next one is Tweed Heads, and then Gold Coast, and then Brisbane. But there's like many towns in between. Like, this is just a small little line. But when I zoom up on it, it's massive, yeah. But when I zoom out on it, there's Australia. It's only a blip on it. It's only a little blip in the corner. That's why, like, I guess traveling to things, it's really time consuming, the travel time. Like, when I went out with Mike from Outdoors Type, who I've shared the link on my Discord, he well, I took him out on the tour. Excuse me, sorry. And he wanted me to show him where things were, because I know a lot about this line. I'm not an expert or nothing, but I do know. Yeah. I do know a lot about the history of it, so I have some ideas of things that I've seen and relics. So it was good. It was, but the amount of travel, like, for one day's work, it was just like bang, 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 go, 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 go. Yeah, where am I? What's this one? Oh, no wonder I'm so far ahead of myself. Damn it. I wondered why that line was a bit weird. Come on, focus. Focus. I gotta wait for Google to catch up. Oh. Gingy, stop. I was up at the cream shed, wasn't I? What was that? There's cream shed, the butter shed, sorry. That's Lismore. Oh, this will be hard. Yeah, no, you're right, Sue. Yeah, thanks for joining me. It's fine. This is gonna be hard. That's Australian phenomenal. I found an anomaly. Right, that's an anomaly. I wonder what that is. I wonder if that's a bird or if that's a UFO or something. Or someone shining a light, something reflective up there. Although that's pretty weird. That's an anomaly. That's different. Okay, so I think it's here. That's the line there. Yeah, I'm probably not going to go for much longer though. I said I would get to Lismore because I'm starting to get seat fever. I gotta get Gingy's dinner soon. So this has already taken me what three and a half hours. I suppose I've been mucking around talking a bit during that time, but this is the easy bit apparently. Then I've got to animate it, so. And I get really frustrated when I'm learning. Like I get really a bit boisy, yeah. Okay, well, good luck with the opticians soon. I hope everything goes well. Yeah, I won't be going much longer anyway, folks. I've reached Lismore, which is pretty much the halfway point. So I'll pretty much, it's going to be a challenge here because I've got cloud cover. But as you can see, this is like this is something that you've got to basically adjust it correctly. I suppose I could have just gone through and just animated, and no one would have been none the wiser, but I am. So all this is gone now. Like all that rail there's gone, all that railway's gone, all that railway's gone there. Down here, all that's gone. Gingy, all right. I know you're hungry. Oh, well, I might. Yeah. Is that a line? I don't think that's the line there. I think that's the line there. So people want to know what I do when I'm offline? This. I do. I trace old lines, and I pretty much got this one to do. Then I got another line to do, and then I've got to yeah. All right, Gingy. All right, I'm gonna stop the video and feed you. Okay? Yeah. Dinner time. Yeah. Don't you lean on stuff. All right. Well. Thanks, folks, for joining me. I'll stop the music. Thanks for joining me. If you stuck around this long, please like, share, subscribe, and give a comment. If you've got a way of doing this quicker, or any ideas, because I'm now going to try and animate this, so it's going to be fun. I've got some videos to watch too, which are going to be tutorials, but I want to get this part over and done with perfect. Yes, Gingy, I know. Yes. Dinner time. Mwah. Yeah. So from Gingy and I, we're going to go feed him. Yeah, dinner time. Yeah, dinner time. Yes, dinner time. So thanks for joining me. Obviously I'll catch you on the next one. Maybe I'll share when I start animating it. Maybe I might do a tutorial one day on how to do this. Stay tuned. There is a very big 8-part video coming soon. Been working my absolute buttocks off on it. So yeah. So to all the people who've hung around this long, thanks, cheers, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Bye.